So your first of two Midwest Modified semi-features, top four to the big dance later on tonight. So your defending champion, Tony Barr, going to have to try and qualify through a semi-feature. Shadow Kitchener to the outside. 12 laps the distance. Caution lights are dropping down around the Red Cedar Speedway. Red Cedar Speedway, are you ready for championship Saturday night? Here we go, Tony Barr, Shadow Kitchener from row one. T-Bar going to jump out front in the lead early down the back straightaway, going to try and bring Travis Anderson along with him. Shadow Kitchener will roll right through the middle of the speedway, and then it's Derek Haas in the 80. Tony Barr will lead early in QQ. Tony Barr trying to run away and hide and leave Shadow Kitchener and Travis Anderson to battle, but the caution flag will wave early. James Lambert in the 59X spinning over there in turn two. Once again, make sure you buy that pot of gold ticket. Make sure you hurry up and do it before the Elwood Express does. Unbelievable. Or go sit next to him and have him buy your ticket for you. All the guy does is win. That's all he does is win. He takes care of his fans, right? No? Unreal. He's cheap. $645 he put in his pocket last night. So Tony Barr trying to drive into the A-Main later on tonight. He is your early race leader in QQ. Travis Anderson and Shadow Kitchener. Derek Haas in the 80. Dakota Smith in the 8. Nick Ayotte in the L4N. Reese Schlosser in the 21. Andrea Keeney in the 61. And then James Lambert charged with the caution. He'll drop to the back of the field in the 59X. So one lap has been scored. 11 remain for Tony Barr in QQ. Barr, Anderson, Kitchener. Here we go. Barr will try and stretch it right away in the QQ as Anderson and Shadow Kitchener continue to go door to door. Derek Haas in that fourth and final transfer spot in the 80. Tony Barr going to work upstairs now. Shadow Kitchener to second. Anderson will settle into third. As I mentioned, Derek Haas in that fourth and final transfer spot, and then it's Dakota, or I should say, Nick Ayotte in the 04N, then Dakota Smith. Top four to the big dance. T-Bar has led every lap in QQ. Shadow Kitchener trying to track down the two-time and defending champion. Barr, Kitchener, Anderson, and Derek Haas will battle for third. Nick Ayotte to fifth. Then it's Lambert, Dakota Smith, Andrea Keeney, and Reese Schlosser in the 21. Tony Barr just cruising out front. Shadow Kitchener comfortably to second. Travis Anderson and Derek Haas continue to battle for third. And we are under caution here once again. So Andrea Keeney coming to a stop in the middle of the racetrack. Also the 04N of Nick Ayotte. So under caution here once again. This is Midwest Modified semi-feature number one. It is the first of two here on Championship Saturday night for your Midwest Modifieds. We will have two. We have two Wissota modified semi-features, with the top four from each advancing, 12 laps in distance. There will not be a semi-feature in the Super Stocks or the late models tonight. So Tony Barr started inside of row one and has stayed there. Travis Anderson inside of the second row now as Shadow Kitchener has elected to start to the outside. Derek Haas in the fourth and final transfer spot in the 80. Then it's James Lambert in the 59X. Dakota Smith in the 8 and Reese Schlosser in the 21. So working on getting the 61 of Andrea Keeney back to the pit area. Heavy damage on the right side of that 61. So Tony Barr and company will get the one to go this time by. So Barr has won the last two Punky Meter Challenger champions in the Midwest Modifieds. He's looking for his fifth overall on the weekend. He was your Punky champion in the late models in 2001. He won limited late models in 17, and that was the first year he won the Midwest Modified Punky title, and then doing it again last year, so looking for his fifth of his career. Getting set to do it again, Tony Barr, your race leader in QQ. Barr once again going to jump out front. Kitchener will go to second. Anderson is third. Keep an eye on the battle for the final transfer spot as James Lambert will work on the 80 of Derek Haas. Halfway now for Tony Barr in QQ. Barr, Kitchener, Anderson, Derek Haas, Lambert, Dakota Smith, and Reese Schlosser slow on the back straightaway at 21. Tony Barr continues to lead Shadow Kitchener in the 37 to Travis Anderson. Derek Haas now going to battle with Anderson for third. Just past the halfway point for Tony Barr in QQ. Barr, Kitchener, Anderson, and Haas continue to go at it for third. Lambert and Dakota Smith to follow. Tony Barr on cruise control with the laps winding down for QQ. This time by, white flag waving one more time for Tony Barr. Final trip around the Red Cedar Speedway for Tony Barr, your leader in QQ. Barr into turn 3. He will drive off at turn 4. He's got a chance for 3 in a row later tonight. Your winner, Tony Barr. So there you have it. Getting the fourth and final transfer spot will be the 37 of Travis Anderson. Third to the 80 of Derek Haas. Runner-up to the 68 of Shadow Kitchener. And in the Chippewa Heavy Haul, CFR Documentation, Tim's Automotive Machine, and Dave Kane Racing. He's out of Hagen, your winner in QQ, Tony Barr. Your final semi-feature for the Midwest Modified, setting over the staging area. Lineup's going to look like this. Driver that'll go from inside of row 1. He is out of Bloomer. He is an 8-time feature winner. He sits in the Bishel Septic. Tim's Automotive Machine in Southworth. Chevrolet Buick GMC in 13. That'll be Nick Kaler starting inside of row one. Going to Kaler's outside. He's out of Marshfield in the Selk Electronics. Chili implemented 29. That should be Chad Selk. Second row back on the inside. Out of Eau Claire. Sitting in the DR Larson Construction. CRC Motorsports and Attack Shocks at 34 Junior. That will be Dan Larson Jr. And to Dan's outside, this driver out of Elk Mound in the Custer Farms. Haas Sons Incorporated 6S. That will be Steve Haas. Slated to start inside of the third row. He's out of Colfax in the TaylorMade Flooring Getaway Bus Service 89. That will be Matt Klukas. And if Klukas is outside, this driver out of Eau Claire in the Vinyl Cuts and Cloth Race Engines 07. That should be Justin Clausen. Fourth row back on the inside. He is out of Boysville in the Chubbs Performance Serve Pro and Ultimate Auto Body 14J. That will be James Conagesser. Going to Conagesser's outside. He's out of Neighboring, Ontario in the Sunshine Creek and the Shop 26. That will be Paul Harry. Fifth and final row to the inside out of Augusta in the J-Lo. That should be Jason Olson. And the final starter on the field, he is out of Menominee. He sits in the Mars Race Cars, CMD Race Shocks, and Red Cedar Chiropractic T25. That will be Mark Thomas. So, Matt Klukas braking in hot laps, not making the call, so a tough break for the 89. Nick Kaler, Chad Selk, Dan Larson Jr., and Steve Haas, your first two rows. Top four to the A-Main, 12 laps the distance. Going to try it again, Midwest Modified Semi-Feature number 2. Eight-time winner Nick Kaler going to lead early. Chad Selk going to settle into second. Then it's Dan Larson Jr. in the 34 Junior. Steve Haas in that final transfer spot in the 6S, but here comes Justin Clausen. Kaler, Selk, Dan Larson Jr. Steve Haas, Justin Clausen, James Conagesser. Mark Thomas trying to make his way through the field in the T25. Nick Kaler trying to hang on. Chad Selk looking for an opening in 29. Kaler will go back to the top in 30. Selk going to look to the inside in 29. And Dan Larson Jr. hanging around at 34 Junior. Kaler, Selk, Dan Larson Jr., your first three. Keep an eye on Mark Thomas rolling right through the middle of the speedway. Coates trying to drive into the big show tonight. Nick Kaler continues to lead, but Chad Selk is there in 29. Dan Larson Jr. comfortably to third. Keep an eye on the battle for the final transfer spot. We are halfway for Nick Kaler. Kaler, Selk, Dan Larson Jr. Steve Haas and Mark Thomas continue to battle for the fourth and final transfer spot. Nick Kaler now starting to put some distance on Chad Selk. Kaler started inside of row one and has stayed there as he continues to lead here in our final Midwest Modified Semi-Feature of the night. Nick Kaler's got it going on tonight. Your leader in 13. Chad Selk still second. Dan Larson Jr. in the 34 junior. Thomas the fourth now at T25, and then it's Steve Haas as laps winding down for Bloomer, Wisconsin's Nick Kaler. Lap traffic now in front of Kaler, your leader. Chad Selk is still there in the 29, but this time by white flag waving, one to go for Nick Kaler. Kaler going to look to the outside. James Conegesser up against the wall in 3 and 4. And the caution lights blink on. Not sure what happened there, but Conegesser has it refired. So we'll very quickly here get the field reset. Once again, the beer specials continue at the beer tent. 2 for $5. Busch Light, Bud Light, Coors Light, White Claw, and Twisted Teas. All other varieties are located at the beer window. You can also get your Pot of Gold ticket as well at the beer tent. Also, I know the girls are making their way through the grandstand, selling those winning tickets for the Pot of Gold as well. So you don't even have to get out of your seat if you don't want to. Don't forget to check out Trackside Collectibles. Visit the concession stand if you get the opportunity. Stop down to Joe Provo Racewear. Some really cool things. I had the opportunity to spend some time with Joe today, and he's got some great things back there at the trailer. So check that out when you get the opportunity. So I believe it'll be green-white checkered for Nick Kaler. As we continue to work on the 14J of James Conegesser. 2 Wasota modified semi-features up right after this one. Going to try and move things along as quick as we can tonight. Once again, a big thanks to all our sponsors: Bill's Distributing, Tim's Automotive Machine, Ron Prochnow Family Farms, Mars Race Cars, everyone out at the Mars shop, thank you guys. Rick and Andrea Hannestead of ServPro, thank you guys a ton for everything you do for racing in this area. Kelly Iverson Trucking, thank you very much. A bunch of them sitting right outside the booth tonight. Kelly and his family, they do an unbelievable amount for racing, so thank you guys a ton. We'll read through that list throughout the evening. So here we go, green, white, checkered for Nick Kaler and company. See if Dan Larson Jr., Chad Selk, Mark Thomas, or Steve Haas have anything for the Bloomer, Wisconsin racer. Green flag flying high above the Red Cedar Speedway once again. Kaler once again to the front in the 13. Chad Selk is there in 29. Steve Haas down to the final transfer spot as he works upstairs. White flag waving once again. Last chance to get in the big dance later on tonight. Kaler, Selk, Dan Larson Jr., and Steve Haas, your first 4. Mark Thomas is there at T25. Off at turn 4, checkered flag waving high in the air for Nick Kaler. So there you have it. 4th will go to the 6S of Steve Haas. Runner-up to the 34 junior of Dan Larson Jr. Check that, 3rd to the 34 junior of Dan Larson Jr. Runner-up to the 29 of Chad Selk. And in the Southworth Chevrolet Buick GMC. ABI Incorporated, Clearview Auto Glass, Days Power Sports, Infinite Concrete, Badger Hole Bar, Ashley Construction, BSR Transport, Bischel Septic, Tim's Automotive Machine, CRC Motorsports, Jack's Trucking, and Catalytic Combustion.